My dear students, good morning to you all. So we are back with the international trade and finance classes. You have already seen the last class. I have uploaded a video relating to how international trade works as an engine of growth. You might have understood something, right? So today we are going to deal in detail with the trade as an engine of growth. Now look at the terms trade and then engine of growth. Those who are in the science streams, they know very well what is the function of an engine. So what's an engine? Engine will help the smooth and fast functioning of something. Okay. That means it facilitates something which we are doing, engine. Okay, and as a result of that, the output can be increased. So, in the similar way, trade is considered as an engine. Engine of what? Engine that facilitates growth. Okay, when I say growth, it is the growth of the economy. Now the question is, how are you going to measure the growth of the economy? How are we going to measure? Is there any idea? Usually the country's growth is measured. The usual formula, traditional formula which every country uses is to measure the GDP. What is that? The gross domestic product. Or the national, we call it, the common name is national income. So what is this national income? It is the money value of all final goods and services produced in the economy during a year. So all that the economy produces, that is valued in money terms. You know how to value in money terms? When you multiply the quantity with the price, it is called valuation in money terms, valuating the commodity in terms of money. Now the question is, why you should use money? Because there are so many that's called units of measurement are there. So we cannot add 1 kg plus 2 liters of oil. You can't do that. So when money was invented, it's known as the most important fundamental invention in the whole commercial aspects of man's side. It's called money. So when the money was invented, what happens? We can evaluate everything in terms of money. Okay. So the GDP also is evaluated in terms of or evaluated in terms of money. So what is GDP? GDP is the money value of all final goods and services. So we take into consideration only final goods and services. That is to avoid double counting. If you calculate all the goods and services in the process of a commodity, in the sense the final product, there are so many raw materials also are used. So we don't take into consideration the value of raw materials, but we take into consideration only the value of final goods produced in a country during a year. So every year, every country evaluates or measures is their GDP, and if the GDP is growing, we say there is economic growth. If GDP falls down, then they say there is a deceleration of growth. So economy is growing or economy is the economic growth is declining. So what did we say here? International trade is considered as an engine of growth. So when we say international trade as an engine of growth, what relationship exists between international trade and economic growth? International trade is an engine. We have already seen international trade act as an engine. Now as an engine, how international trade facilitates growth? Okay. Now how international trade takes place? International trade takes place in terms of exports and imports. Right? So I have written down certain points on the board, you can see. The first point, we can see that international trade helps us to earn foreign exchange. right? International trade helps us to earn foreign exchange. Now you have to explain that term. What is the use of this foreign exchange? Second, we are going to discuss everything in detail. So when you write this, this is under the points, you have to give the explanations also. So I will explain after saying this point. So second one is, in the international trade help us to import the technology and expertise from other countries, right? If a country do not have this effective technology, the machines, the machinery, the resource expertise in terms of manpower, and then the country can think of importing that from the other countries. And then third one, we can say the import of commodities that are scarce. We know that most of the product which we use in our country, you know that it is imported from somewhere else, right? Maybe from China, America, Japan, etc., Taiwan, Sri Lanka, so, Indonesia, or Singapore, etc. So we can import the commodities that are scarce in our scarcely produced in our country. And then we can see this trade also helps to control the violent fluctuations in prices. So in the domestic economy there will be fluctuations in prices. Now what are these fluctuations in price? In economics it is termed as inflation or deflation. Inflation and deflation. So inflation means rising the prices of the commodities. Deflation means rising the lowering, falling the prices of the commodities. Both are not good for the economy. So international trade helps to control these fluctuations. And then international trade helps us to helps for maximum utilization of resources. Okay, so now we will explain one in detail. So let us go to see the number one, that is, it helps us to earn foreign exchange. Now, how do we get foreign exchange? We get foreign exchange through our exports, right? So then export, I told you international trade takes place in two forms. What is called? We have export. We have export can be denoted as X and import can be denoted as M. Okay. So if export is greater than import, what does it mean? We are getting more amount of money from other countries. We are getting the money in their terms. They are giving us, of course, we are getting that foreign exchange we are getting. Now that foreign exchange, for what we need this foreign exchange? First of all, when we get foreign exchange from other countries, it increases our volume of national income. GDP increases. How? Because it is our commodities that are exported to the other countries. So we get more when we convert their exchange, their currency into our terms, we get more. Our national income is increased through exports. Right? Now the question is, why do we need foreign exchange at all? What is foreign exchange? Foreign exchange is the name given to any foreign currency. So why do we need foreign exchange? We need foreign exchange in order to import. So suppose we are exporting something to America, maybe the clothes. Okay, we are good in textile products, right? So when we export that, we get what? American dollar in return, right? That American dollar. Now we are taking that money. Now what are we going to do with that? So that money will be kept as a foreign exchange reserve. Okay. Now we use that money for what? In order to pay for our import. Suppose we are importing something from America. Then we need to pay not in Indian rupee terms, we need to pay in dollar terms. Okay, so we have to pay in dollars. So what do we get? We get a more foreign dollar. Now with that foreign dollar, we can also import the commodities which we are not producing in our country. So first of all, when you get a foreign exchange, it sees that there is an inflow of money from other country to our country. So whenever there is an inflow of money from our country to other countries, from other countries to our country, what happens? Our national income increases through export. When it is possible, when export is greater than import. Okay. Now, what happens is import is greater than export. What happens? Then there is a decrease in our foreign exchange reserves because we have to pay for our imports. We are paying. So what happens? There is an outflow of money from our country to other countries. So import help us to most often if we are importing something for consume, what's it called, in order to satisfy the consumer's need, it does not add to our national income. What happens? We have to pay for those imports, and as a result of that, money goes from our country to the other countries. Clear? So export helps us to earn foreign exchange, that is foreign money, through which increases our national income, because export means there is inflow of money into our economy, whereas import means outflow of money from our country to the other country. That will reduce the economic growth. So we are discussing now how international trade works as an engine of growth. Okay, so GDP. So what are the means by which we can increase GDP? That is what through international trade, or what are the ways in which trade helps us to increase our GDP. This is our topic, right? So now we understood now by acquiring foreign exchange through exporting more, we get a foreign exchange reserves, which means this will increase our GDP, or it will increase our national income. Whereas increasing import means there is an outflow of money, which means our foreign exchange reserves are reduced because it is paid for imports, right? So import will decrease our economic growth, right? Now this export has a greater role. All these other functions depends upon export. Why? Because anything you want to acquire from the other countries, we need foreign exchange. Now you understand the importance of foreign exchange. Anything we want to import from other countries, we need the amount of foreign exchange. Now in 1991, India was facing a serious problem because India was not able to import commodities to satisfy our requirements because the foreign exchange reserves have drastically come down. When it comes down, we depend on what's it called? We have to borrow from other countries. If borrowing also is come to a crucial level, and a maximum level, where will we borrow? Borrowing also will become difficult. So our balance of payment has been at a critical state during 1990-91. That time only Manmohan Singh adopted the new economic policy: liberalization, privatization, and globalization. He thought it will bring about more competition in our country. We can promote more export, etc. So that this privatization will motivate the other the domestic producers to produce more and then export, and thus we can earn the foreign exchange. And the other means the government adopted was something called devaluation. What is devaluation? Devaluation means devaluing the value, devaluing our currency. That means decreasing, deliberately actions are taken to decrease the value of our currency so that export may be promoted. Okay, we are going to learn that in detail when devalue currency, which means our currency's value is falling, or value is decreased in terms of other currency, right? So it is done because in order to increase export. How it increases export? When our currency value is decreased, our commodities will be we are able to sell our commodities at a cheaper rate in the foreign market. This is how this is how it promotes export, and more export means more foreign exchange. More foreign exchange reserves means we can import all that we need from other countries. Understand how an export, increase in export, international trade we can through increase in export and decrease in import will help us to it will help our economy to grow, our GDP to grow. Okay, students, I don't think I will be able to explain all the points at once. So this aspect of it is clear. You can write down the notes as you understand, because understanding is more important. So I hope you will write down when I explain each points. Okay. The next thing is, what is that? There are two things. Two points we will discuss today. Next, in foreign, it helps us to import foreign technology and expertise. Foreign technology and expertise. If you look at all the developing economies, technology, what I mean is all that is the technological development in the developed countries, we are able to experience that only after liberalization and globalization, 1991, after 1991. What was the reason? Because now trade is taking place at in free, trade is made free. Trade is made free. So, when you look at India, you see after 1991, there is a tremendous progress. That is progress economy has witnessed, and also the people are having modern technology in there. See, I take the example of the simple mobile. Of course, liberalization started from 1980s onwards by Rajiv Gandhi, and afterwards you will see Manmohan Singh has made it completely liberalized. LPG, it is called LPG, not gas. Liberalization, privatization and globalization. Okay, so what is the importance of this LPG? So LPG make trade free, which means we can really export and import. Now when I say freely, don't misunderstand, it is not without money. Freely means free export and import means there are no restrictions placed by the government on export and import. I happened to read in one of the students' valuation paper when I valued. Some students have written free trade means trade without money. It's not trade without money. No trade will take place without money. So free trade means trade which is free from all restrictions. There are so many restrictions placed by the government, either in terms of tariff or in terms of import quotas, taxes on export, etc. And taxes on import, that's called import tariff and export tariff. And then quotas are there. Quotas means country is not able, other country is not able to import to us the quantity which they want. You will place some restrictions. Okay, you can import to us maybe 1 quintal of rice. Restrictions. Import a quota. Okay. Now, when you get a foreign exchange, you can import what? The foreign technology, the machineries, the machines which they are using to produce. You know that whenever the use of machine will make things faster and output will increase, productivity of labor and capital also will increase. Right? Import of technology and expertise. What do you mean by this expertise? A man is, so this is the manpower, special skills of manpower is called expertise. One person is very good in making machines, it's an expertise. Their intelligence, their skills are far superior than of somebody else, or we can say the foreign technology and expertise, the manpower, their skills etc. are far more superior than that of ours. We have to accept that. Yes. This is called expertise. So when foreign expertise, the manpower also comes to our country, what happens here? Here the production will increase. How? With the use of machines, the use of technology, the application of that what's that called, techniques of production, right? And the use of expertise, people who are expertise in a particular area, our knowledge, they come and share with us. So what happens? It is able to, the country is able to make use of our resources in a better way. It increases the production of commodities. Okay, so this is how when foreign commodities are exported, so it imports, when we import the technology and the expertise, it helps us to increase our production. Increase our production means increase in GDP. Okay students, I hope you understood. So this is the I think we will wind up today, because 2 points at least it is clear to you. The import of technology and expertise will have, from other countries to our country, it will help us to produce more, especially in areas we lack technology and expertise. You know how China becomes, China and India is considered to be the fastest growing economies, right? The China is growing faster than India. What's the reason? Because for everything they have some capital. Capital means man-made instruments of production. Agriculture, they have enough capital. They use technologies. So that, and they have plenty of manpower also. And there is an expertise also for them. Manpower means not unskilled manpower. They have a fully skilled, knowledgeable person who can share so many things so that the production will increase. Okay, so this import of technology and expertise will improve our technology and our expertise, and then that will help us to increase the production of our economy. More production means more income. Income means agriculture, GDP. So our GDP increases. Okay students, so I wind up for today. So we will see in the next class what are the other factors. Will explain the other factors. I hope it is clear to you. So we are discussing how the trade as a helping relationship between trade and growth. So how trade works as an engine of growth. In 2 ways we have seen. The rest of the ways we are going to see in the next class. Okay.